Brad, what are the big issues that you're seeing for runners in terms of recovery?
A trap that many runners of all different levels, probably less so at the elite side of things, can fall into, Ross. And there's a growing awareness of this, which is really great, is the lack of intensity control when training. And I'll put my hands up for this, Ross. I have not gotten this right over every year of my 30 years of taking part in running events and triathlon events. But it's hard to not succumb sometimes to wanting to push sessions that should be taken easily harder, right? So we over index on these runs that should be steady and aerobic, and we end up spending far too much time running in our given weekly training workload at high intensities. And that does bring with it a heightened risk of injury, running related injury, and it can also bring with it less adaptation to the actual stimulus that we're doing with our training.
Against all of those challenges, Brad, what are you seeing as the biggest issues for runners when it comes to the topic of recovery?
I'd categorize it into a lack of recovery. So if I reflect on my own athletic journey, it's probably something that's close to me, and that is trying to do too much in a day. So working full-time job, often raising children, families, and then trying to fit training around that, burning the oil at both ends. So a lack of recovery. The second category, if you like, would be a lack of adaptation to the training. So the training stimulus doesn't change, or it doesn't lend itself well to the stressors that the athlete's under, which aren't just training load related. So therefore the athlete doesn't improve. They get into this stuck, stale pattern of not necessarily gaining from the training or improving. Lack of results would be another category. So that's really a byproduct of the former two issues, if you like. And then there's this heightened risk of injury. An example of that is we know that running economy, for example, in the science, reduced for up to 3 weeks following a stressful and negative life event. We also know that psychological factors can absolutely heighten injury risk, whether that's academic stress, emotional stress, self-blame, so blaming ourselves for things, anxiety or perfectionism. These psychological burdens can heighten injury risk as well.